What's up, world? This is We Need a Fifth. This your man Mo. Got my man P in the building.
What up?
Got my man Hill on the line.
Yo,
Fellas, let's start with the NFL. We had some close ones there going into the semifinal round. Teams were getting ready to punch their tickets. Lamar Jackson was able to handle his business um, and was decisive in handling his business. Ravens looked really, really tough. Pat Mahomes was able to get past Josh Allen one more time, and this time in Buffalo. Hill, gonna ask you, as UNP, as 49ers fans, how do y'all feel about your team just scraping by against a team that they were heavily favored against in Green Bay?
Survive,
Um,
survive in advance. That's it. I don't care if they won by
and,
half a point. I'm cool. Like the NFL,
and
especially in the NFL format, it's tricky, man. Like you just take the win and when you could get it.
and especially being banged up, Samuels, it looks like he's going to be playing, but he is banged up with that shoulder injury that he suffered in that game. Um, and going up against, it seemed like an inspired Detroit Lions team that's running the underdog train. It looks like they got a destination for the Super Bowl.
They're the underdog for a reason.
Okay, let's start with the Lions versus 49ers.
No, it's a great story. It's a great story. Jared Goff gets swapped out for Matthew Stafford, one number one pick for another number one pick. He goes to Super Bowl, loses. Stafford goes there and wins. So it's a good story. The kid Hutchinson from Michigan gets to stay at home for his home team, whatever. It's a great story. You know what I mean? Like, but as a
Hmm
49er fan,
It,
and as a football fan, I think the story ends tomorrow.
oh, it's time to strike the clock at midnight.
Yeah, like I said, it's a nice story. Yeah, I'm happy for the Detroit fans. I mean, the long suffering Detroit fans, but I'm just hoping that the better team wins.
yeah,
Hill.
barring weather. I mean, because it seems like Brock Purdy had an issue holding the ball
Mm.
in rainy weather. That could scare me. So if the weather forecast, I haven't got to check it yet. If it's clear, I'm going with San Francisco. But even with that, I thought Shanahan had a bad game. I mean, you lose Debo, and to me, you're still running packages as if Debo was still there. You know what I'm saying? You're taking Juwan Jennings to run his reverse. I mean, you didn't adjust, and you don't have to do too much adjusting. Just scheme better interior blocking for McCaffrey. Has a chance to be MVP. Why did they not use that ultimate work? He's the best back in the league. So let him prove it. And it should have just been more scheming for runs, knowing that this guy couldn't have handled the ball.
And since you're talking about that and talking about strategies and tactics to win, what do you think the 49ers have to do in this game to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl?
Run McCaffrey. I mean, Brock could do what he has to do when he has to. I think, but having that safety net and just counters and pulls the way that they do, he's such a great schemer for the run. It was just seemed weird for Shanahan to run away from it. You know what I mean? So I think they keep it on the ground and let Brock pick his points. That's when it opens up everything else for Kittle and Samuel. You know what I mean? Ayuk. It was just weird. That's to be fair, we were lucky to get out of that Green Bay game. So I hope they take advantage of it now and it's gonna be a good matchup. But I got the 49ers in this one. Of course, I'm a homer, but still, like I was just thrown off by Shanahan's coaching last week.
Hey, do you have anything to add to that? What do you think the 49ers needs to do in order to punch their ticket?
No, I completely agree with him. I think just do what they've been doing. Brock managed the game and run the ball. You got arguably the best running back in football. Your offensive line, you got Trent Williams at left tackle. Run the ball and let Purdy manage the game and let the defense do what they do.
Simple formula, it seems.
Okay. Now, let me ask you guys the hard question, especially as 49ers fans. What do you think the Detroit Lions need to do in order to pull off the upset? Or is there a scenario where you see, hey, the Detroit Lions playing their best game and being able to pull off this upset?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely could pull off the upset. They just
Absolutely.
they have to score early. You have to put you have to put the pressure on Purdy. However it is, special teams, golf, or whatever, if they could get a couple scores early and then do it opposite, then we'll force the 49ers to do opposite what we're saying is to run the ball. You have to have Purdy throw the ball to get back in the game. I think that would be the dream situation for Detroit.
Yeah. And the weird thing is with that defensive line and that linebacker crew, I know it sounds crazy, but those two backs, I think you have to run at San Francisco.
And I was just about to ask about that, especially considering how at times it seemed like Jordan Love was able to, have his way with San Francisco's defense.
Couldn't get to the quarterback.
Are you concerned about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think that's something that, hey, Detroit can take advantage of?
I don't know. I mean, that just could have been a weird weekend. 49ers have to get to the quarterback, and I think they will this game. Goff's not loved back there moving around.
Yeah, it's a little different in athleticism.
Okay. Let's go to the other side of the bracket. This one, I'm going to be honest with you, fellas. I think this is the Super Bowl before the Super Bowl. With this one, you got the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know how you call this one, man. Hill, I'm gonna start with you. First, who do you have in this game?
I'm gonna go with better defense, prolific offensive player, not offensive. Yeah, we have two, Kelsey and Mahomes. So I'll say prolific players. And then adding Lamar, I'm gonna go with Baltimore for this one. I don't know why I go against Mahomes. Listen. Hopefully I'm wrong because I want to see Chiefs Niners. As I'm putting out in already, but you can never count Mahomes out. But I'm thinking if this is going to be what back-to-back MVP years,
yeah,
and with this defense and at home, if he doesn't get it done here, problem.
P.
I'm on the same page with Hill in that I don't know why he goes against Mahomes. I foresee the Montana Bowl happening, man. Chiefs versus 49ers. Just I don't do that.
Yeah, and normally I'm riding that train too, P. But I think if there was a season for Pat Mahomes to be vulnerable to another excellent quarterback and all-around good team, this would be that season. And yeah, at home. This is tough, man. Wow.
You got to make him vertical. To me, whatever it is, you got to take the legs away from Lamar. A spy and maybe an extra linebacker to stop him. Let him make a play. Let it be over your head for the entire game. He beat you that way, then that's why he's great. I'm not letting him beat me with the legs.
Agreed. Agreed.
I just don't know if Kansas City has the defense for that, though.
No, they do. They do.
They do.
They do. They just they have to pick your poison. If he's throwing it and slinging it around the entire field, I think you live with that. Then he's just great. But it's pressure. That's what. Isn't this Mr. Giants time? Isn't this his?
Who's that? Spag?
Yeah. Isn't this his time, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, like you say, I think it's. I mean, of course, you're always going to need personnel, whatever. But I think it's more scheme. So that falls on Spags. I think it's scheme. It's scheme. You need to turn him into a passer. Not saying he can't do it.
mm-hmm.
I'd rather, like you said, I'd rather turn him into a passer and than him be a dual threat.
Mm-hmm.
You just have no idea how to defend that sometimes. So.
If Jordan's gonna hit jumpers all day, then what do you want me to tell you?
Right. Take away the highlight dunk. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. He's MVP of the league, so we know, you got to try to take away something.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going with tough. I think I'm going with Lamar Jackson.
Sure. MVP and at home.
Yeah,
Baltimore Ravens. Was a stretch, but he should get it done.
Know what though, Hill? Know what has me worried is that, to P's point and to your point too, the Kansas City defense has to have a strategy in order to contain Lamar, and I think with them having gone through the Bills and in Buffalo, they've seen kind of what they need to do with a quarterback that's just as athletic as Lamar, if not more of a bulldozer to Lamar's Lamborghini, but they've had a taste of that. I don't know if Lamar's playoff win has prepared him for what he needs to be prepared for with Kansas City. That's what I question, and whether or not Baltimore has matured enough, to overcome some of the silly mistakes that they do when they get behind or yeah. So that's what I'm concerned about with Baltimore, but I'm gonna pick Baltimore. I'm gonna stick to that.
Casey got to win the battle at the line. The hands they can't let the wide receiver jump off. I think you take his initial, you give him pressure, his initial first and secondary reads,
Mm-hmm.
which is only about what 0 to 4 seconds. You take those out immediately, and it has to be over your head. I think that's the Kansas City, formula to win. You just can't lose those battles. Odell, Andrews coming back. Hands on the initial snap. You got to be handsy on that first 5 yards and jam them.
Yeah, and Andrews
battles.
Andrews, like you said, yeah, that's a good point, Hill. And Andrews, that may play a part.
Safety blanket right
there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he started developing a good relationship with the other tight end. I forget his name, but so that's even they're doubling down on a position that Lamar is comfortable with, connected with.
Odell likes to play around during these situations. So he might step it up a little bit, show out. So we'll see.
All right. Hill, you have Chiefs 49ers.
No, I got Ravens 49ers.
Ravens 49ers, excuse me. I have Ravens 49ers. P, you have Chiefs 49ers. And maybe this is too soon. And you guys could tell me if it's too soon.
Too soon. Because if that happened, that's a tough decision for me.
That's fun for me if that happens. That's not that bad of a blow. Well, I'm definitely want San Fran to win it, but I wouldn't mind Mahomes giving me 3.
Yeah.
You mean Lamar giving you the first one?
If that's the case, like I said, 49ers. But if it's the other way around, give me Chiefs 49ers. I won't mind it. But Lamar Niners, that's a no-brainer. It's strictly gonna be 49ers.
Okay. I think, and Pete, you don't want to choose. It's too early for you.
It's tough, man. I
Chiefs
don't go against them, but my 49. That's tough. That's
So too early for you.
for me. Too
Come
early.
back to you next week.
Hopefully. Hopefully. It might not be a tough choice next week, to be honest.
If my prediction comes out, Baltimore 49ers, I got Baltimore taking it. And I got 49ers asking a lot of questions. Because this will
they get
be
to the
what?
Super Bowl, they're not asking too many questions. Getting there, if you get to the Super Bowl, you're not asking too many questions. That's the Super Bowl.
Okay.
They lost to them already. They got blown by them already, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I think once you get there, of course, if you get blown out, maybe, but once you get there, it's a 1-game playoff, basically. At that point, you just
everything's up for grabs after that. On the kitchen sink at the game.
Okay. In other NFL news, we had Mr. Harbaugh hired by the Los Angeles Chargers.
Quick and painless. Never drawn. Usually, the guy usually draws it out, so that's good.
We also have, I think, who was it? Tampa Bay hired. No, not Tampa Bay. Falcons. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Atlanta Falcons hired Raheem Morris. I believe his last name is. For the head coaching position. And to that effect, Bill Belichick still does not have a job. Do we think that he's going to get hired on anywhere? I think the only jobs left are the Washington job. And
forced to make another one? I mean, I don't know if that's the case. I mean,
yeah, I think at this point, shout out to Raheem Morris. I think he deserved the job over Bill Belichick at this point. We're not giving out lifetime achievement awards right now. What has Belichick done in the last 3 to 4 years that say, "Oh, I want him as my coach"?
He's not there. Listen. He's won without Belichick.
Right. I know, right? I completely agree.
Do you guys think that Belichick deserves another opportunity to be a head coach in NFL?
For the league or personally? For the league, I think it's like opposite of what Pete says. I think he has a lifetime achievement one. I think he can pick wherever he want to go if it's an availability. They feel that way. To me, I think he's too old.
Pete?
Yeah, I think it's a combination. The game might have passed him by, and he doesn't have Brady. Not to go, him and Popovich. Look at their record without Duncan. Look at their record without Brady. It's horrendous, B. It's horrendous. It just is.
All right. Hey, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you guys think. Who you got for the NFL conference finals? Who do you think is going to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming through. And you can also hit us up directly at weneedthefifth@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. Let's get to the NBA, fellas. The NBA just recently released their Eastern Conference and Western Conference All-Star starters. lineup, and let me read it for you. At the guards in the Eastern Conference, we have Damian Lillard and Tyrese Halliburton. And in the front court, we have Jason Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid. How we feel about those Eastern Conference All-Stars? Starters. Any issues with those starters?
I think I had Dame and Maxey, but I'm not mad at Halliburton over Maxey.
Okay. Hill?
Brunson, Maxey.
I think I had Halliburton, Brunson. Western Conference. In the backcourt, we have Luka Doncic and Shea Gilgeous Alexander.
Nailed it. Enough
In
said.
the front court, we have the Joker, Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant, Slim Reaper, and the King, LeBron James.
I agree with Hill. They nailed the backcourt. I think that you could just put it in now. That's your all NBA backcourt already. SGA and Luka at the end of the season.
Period. Absolutely.
So that's easy. I had AD over LeBron, but that's cool. I get it. I overstand.
Hill?
I think the common denominator here might be LeBron, or should be LeBron. I mean,
you're not too pleased with him at the starting position.
nah, I think that's fan votes, right?
Yeah.
It's a combination. So I don't know where he fell in with the media and whatever. He might have made it with any vote you could think of. It might, if coaches or media, he still might have made it. But
You're wrong.
Congratulations to him though. 20 All-Star games is crazy. That is crazy.
And they're wrong.
Yeah, they're wrong. Not as an All-Star. Right. I'm okay with him being an All-Star.
Oh yeah, All-Star's fine.
I just don't think a starter.
Is he the captain?
No, they're not doing that.
No, but
he's the leading vote getter. Yes.
Yeah, he's the leading vote getter.
Leader vote getter. Yeah. Him and Johnny. Let's fill out the reserves. I know last week we posited our starters for the All-Star game, and maybe P will be able to edit in some magic with showing our previous picks. But let's fill out the reserves. We got what, 7 more slots to fill out? It's 12-man team. So let's start with the East Coast.
Brunson, since he didn't make it, right?
Yeah, I think that's I think we can all agree that's an easy one.
I think Brunson and Maxey, I think, is easy.
All right. No. Okay. And Hill, you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Where are you going with that?
I thought I heard
I was gonna maybe say Brunson and Donovan.
Oh no, I got probably 4 guards
in reserve.
Okay.
Yeah, because you got 2 and 3. You got like 2 wild cards.
Trae Young.
Yeah, I got Trae. It's either him or we'll get to it, but it's either him or Randall. It's Trae or Randall. But I definitely got Mitchell. Wait. Oh yeah, you got Mitchell, Brunson, and Maxey. Definitely.
Okay.
Front court.
I could deal with those 3 in the backcourt.
All right.
You got Brunson and Pacero in the front court.
Who?
Paolo.
You mean whatchamacallit?
Jalen Brown?
Yeah. Paolo,
Brown,
Jaylen Brown,
Brown,
and probably
and
Bam.
Yeah.
ooh,
There's only one. Listen, there's only one Nick. It's
Well,
Brunson.
yeah.
like I said,
I'm comfortable with
Randall made
that.
it before.
well, then I would go Trey.
Or I would be Chris Stapps if it ain't Bam.
Nah,
Porzingis.
I would pick Bam over Chris
Both
Stapps.
of them.
But yeah, Randall has an argument, but I probably would go. You know what? I think I'll go Randall over Trae Young for that last spot.
To me, when you get it down to that, it's a game for enjoyment, and it's for fans, and there's nothing that brings enjoyment and also a game about Julius Randle. So if he was picked to start, I had nothing to do with it. That's fine. But if we're talking entertainment and the numbers are close, I'm going with someone who will just entertain me more. I'll take it half court three than someone just bowling over somebody when you're just out there to have fun. He'll get somebody hurt in an exhibition game. It's not worth it. I'm not going there. Funniest thing is I don't think he deserves it, but we'll get to that. He's having a good season for himself.
Yeah. What about somebody that a lot of people are clamoring that they feel he deserves at least a consideration? What about Derek White? Derek White from the Boston Celtics.
Having a really good season, I would say no shot.
Hmm.
No, he's having a good season. It's nothing against him. It's that much talent in the NBA right now. He's having
Leagues guards and blocks, right?
I believe so.
Guards and blocks.
Yeah, but that's like almost like a made up stat to me. Like only guards. Like he doesn't lead the league in blocks. He leads guards and blocks. I think he's playing. He's having an excellent season. I like his game. All of that. I don't see how you could put him on an all-star team. I don't think he's having that good of a season.
And what about my man down in Florida, Mr. Jimmy Butler?
Does he play more than 3 games every 3 weeks?
Yeah, I straight up went for Bam because he played more games.
He's got to play.
Bam played more games. I give it to Bam. That's it. That's it.
Let's go to the Western Conference. Let's fill up. Can we say Steph is definitely in the reserves?
You could
say that.
You could say it, but I wouldn't say definitely. Over Fox and Booker. This is going to.
I mean, he should be in a lot. We chose like 3 or 4 guards for the East. You're not gonna choose that many for the West.
I gotta go through the front court, but Steph. Let me give you the probably the second best point guard ever. Great player.
Yeah.
He's not having a better season than De'Aaron Fox nor Devin Booker. He's not.
He's not that far off.
Okay.
I don't know what his numbers are. Let me. What are his numbers?
Look at the W's and the L's.
W's and L's, and also look at and also watch the games too. Like he's been having a bad. Like depending on him not playing with injury, like I'll put Jamal Murray in before I put him in. Oof. And that's a stretch. That's how bad a season I think Curry's having now. If it wasn't for the fans, I said I can't control the fans have him starting, but if you give me the choice to have the All-Star game, now he's not making it in my team.
And then Jamal Murray, I kind of feel bad for him. If you could feel bad for a guy who just won a championship, but he's always had these nagging injuries and he misses these games. That's the reason I wouldn't pick Jamal Murray.
Not enough time, not enough games.
Has nothing to do with his play. Nothing to do with his play. It's just his availability.
Okay, did y'all tell me who your Western Conference reserves?
So we got. You agree? Y'all agree with Fox and Booker?
Definitely.
Okay. Oh yeah. So AD, I think we're probably all on the AD train on that one. I would say Kawhi and Cat.
I didn't hear Anthony Edwards.
Oh, okay. Anthony Edwards, Paul George. So I guess Steph doesn't make the cut.
Bill, who's your reserves?
Definitely Ant-Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just forgot.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Ant. Kawhi. I got PG in there. I got um I'm not even giving Cat. Like if it's an all-star game, it have to be like, yeah, no, I wouldn't. I mean, if it's something to see and they wouldn't do it, I would even put Wemby as my last pick if I had to.
Okay. Well, I guess my picks are gonna be really off. I got Steph, I got Ant, I got Dev, I got Fox, Wimby, and I guess I could be nice. I throw Kawhi in there for the last one.
I mean, I think what's hurting us so much. I mean, my sympathy picks would have been a mix between Steph, Wemby, and LeBron.
Matter of fact, is not Kawhi. Take that out. I'll do AD instead of Kawhi.
Yeah, you forget AD too. He's a definite in there.
You got
AD,
in there anyway.
Wemby,
but you got
AD, Wemby,
Census?
AD, Wemby, Ant, Fox, Booker, Steph. I got one more. Oh, Kawhi. Is that last one? Yeah. They go my 7.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm going off like how good of a season they're having. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Wemby, Steph, and all of that, but I don't think they're, again, because of the amount of talent in the West, I don't think they're all-stars this year.
Yeah, that's being real, because if you look at it that way, Steph has as much claim as I'm only doing for excitement for me. I know he's not an all-star. But if you're doing it for the fans to have him in there, it would just seem to boost up their ratings to have him in there. But definitely deserving, no, the record is abominable. You know what I'm saying? Like Laurie marketing, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not deserving of it, but I can see him being on the team. I mean,
yeah, I think that's a good catch. Him and I think Sabonis
yeah,
have a real, they have a real gripe if they don't make it. Put it out there.
But how much does team success matter for this all-star selection? I mean, because it's basically, at least the way I think of it, is like, hey, the best players, or most entertaining players. And to you guys' point, we talk about Steph Curry and how badly the Golden State Warriors are doing, but he's still a guy that's averaging 26, shooting above 46% from the field. I think he's shooting 40% from 3 right now, averaging 4 rebounds, 4 assists, or a little under 5 assists.
turnovers are up and the losing is up.
Yeah, my thing for Steph, his it's not the numbers, because he's given me what Fox and Booker's given me. Just that they're winning. That's it. Like I'm not even saying that they're actually better than him, but I think he's having a better season because of the wins.
Okay.
To me,
but it's right, and it's contributing. And he watch the games, he's contributing to their losses. Similar to LeBron, he's contributing to their losses. You know what I'm saying? So that plays a part into it. The reason why I said for the joy of it, having Wemby and other things, is just strictly for selfish reasons. But from a business standpoint, you have people who are having actually good seasons, marketing, Sabonis, that if they do make this, it gives them an economic boost just for making an all-star game. Now, I wouldn't want to take that away just for me for saying, let's throw Wemby on, or Steph on, just because. You know what I mean? There are people who are actually playing better and having their teams in better situations that I would take. Hence the reason why Cat makes more sense.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Cat should really be on than a lot of people that we name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's the second best player on the team. Depending, I don't know, it's them and OKC is going back and
Okay, so switch back and forth.
is on the best team in the West. Like, he's giving me 20 a game. Yeah, I don't know what else he could do.
But from a fiduciary standpoint, to me, it helps them. That's my argument for what you call him from the Celtics, White.
Mm.
His play is equated to quite a few wins for Boston.
Yeah.
And he's giving you what, 16 points, 5 assists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it's just the Eastern guards are stacked.
right.
That's all that is. Again, he's, it's a lot of talent. I keep saying it's a lot of talent. Like, to me, like I said, I don't think he has a shot. And that's nothing against his game. I think he's having a hell of a season. But so are other guards in the East.
Hill, you brought up a interesting point, and I don't think many fans think of it in that sense, that all-star selections can often be attached to contractual
Definitely.
incentives and contractual benchmarks. Do you think the NBA needs to make a better effort of advertising that, letting that be known, letting the fans know that, hey, your choice can affect someone's contract, or your choice can affect a player's negotiating position?
Then they'll be catering to the wrong people. I mean, you got fans who believe that players shouldn't get paid as much as they do now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would stay away from that. I mean, a lot of people feel like these athletes should be playing for free.
Mm.
But we get it
Okay.
because we're sane. No, seriously, like we take into account because we're actually free thinking, sane people, and
Mm-hmm.
that's nothing to overlook. So the little nuances we do catch up on.
Pete, I was asking Hill if he thought that the NBA should do a better job of informing fans that all-star selections could affect players' contracts, could affect benchmarks, certain stipulations in the contract and stuff like that.
No, I think we live in this information age. They know. If they want to know, they could find out. Like, I think there's so much information out there. And honestly, I don't think it's gonna really sway most fans. Like, they're gonna pick who they want to pick. I don't think it would make a big difference either way.
And it might frustrate them that they make that much.
Yeah, that's a whole nother category. I'm not even into knowing what the players make. I mean, the cat's out the bag, it's over. But when someone signs, they always say, oh, so-and-so got traded or he got signed for this amount of money. I feel it's kind of like pocket watching. I'm not really into playing GM. I don't really care.
Let me something that was brought up on one of the NBA programs I was watching the other day, especially with our discussion about how these players can have contractual benchmarks or incentives to make an all-star selection. Do you think teams have a responsibility to those players that have those benchmarks or those incentives, especially if they're doing well and playing above expectations, to promote those players? A lot of hubbub has been made recently over the supposed snub of Jalen Brunson. And a lot of people have been asking, hey, how come the Knicks haven't been pushing Jalen Brunson as a potential all-star and promoting him and marketing him to as an all-star, having his posters up all over New York City or in major areas in New York to promote him and keep him in the mind of fans when they're thinking of all-star voting. Do you think teams have that responsibility to the players?
Unless they don't have a marketing division. You know what I mean? Like they have people that's just your job. You know what I mean? So if they don't find Jalen Brunson marketable, it's to their detriment, or maybe he's just not marketable. One or the other. You can't sell a guy, but they're not trying to sell a guy. If that's the case, you get someone who can sell him. You know what I mean? You own a franchise. Your job is to make your franchise profitable. I think that plays a part into creating personalities within your team. You know what I mean? Like old school Knicks, you found a way to market Oakley and Mason. I didn't even know they played basketball. But you know who they were. They were Goon Squad. You know, you see them having a personality outside of just putting them up on the Teletron at MSG. So, I mean, to what extent? I don't know. Like, I'm thinking from a micro standpoint, just in your city. You do it. I think it should be that big. I think Indiana does it. Just little small town cities do it. So, I just thought that was part of the, part of the course.
P.
Yeah, he might have changed my mind on that one because I was thinking they don't have an obligation, but like you said, I'm sure every team has a marketing department. That's their job. Like, that's what they get paid to do. I didn't think of it like that. So in that case, yeah, I think I seen Jalen Brunson has a couple of commercials on MSG.
Yeah.
It might be a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Maybe it's not the best commercial in the world because I can't remember what they're selling or what they're
cereal. I think he has a cereal commercial.
Yeah, so he's not. So I don't think it's their job to do it nationally. I don't know if they even can, but locally, you should promote your players because it creates excitement, it creates ticket sales, it creates revenue. That's at the end of the day, NBA is still a business. We love the game, but it's a business. But I think the best way to promote, the best way to promote a play is usually like the sneaker companies anyway, right? Like I think they do the best job of promoting players. So so it's almost like I don't know if you asking me should they? I think they already do. I just think apparently some are better than others.
Okay. Talk about the NBA. Talk about all-star players. Want to talk about a couple of potential all-stars who had big scoring nights over the last week. Joel Embiid scored, I think, 70 points in the game. And you had Karl Anthony Towns scoring on the same night 62 points in a loss. Kind of, and Devin Booker, if I'm not mistaken, had 62 points last or was that Luka?
Luka went for 70 plus, and Booker went for 60 plus in a loss. Yeah, 73. Luka went for 73. Yeah,
Luka 62 in a loss, but Booker has had a 70-point outing.
Yeah,
I think he lost that. Almost positive he lost that actually. Yeah, against Boston.
Now I didn't get a chance to see Luka and Book's game. Was able to see some of Embiid's game and Karl Anthony Towns' game. What do you guys think of this? First, what do you guys think of this scoring explosion in this last half of the first half of the season? And can we talk about Karl Anthony Towns 62? I really felt that was kind of a game, kind of an example of how not to do it. Did you guys?
What are you seeing from these high scoring? The explosion to me is just really talented players on 5-tier scoring. You know what I mean? They have the layup package. They have a post package. They have a 3-point package. They have a dribble drive package. They have a mid-range. And any of those points that they get the ball, top of the key, mid, anywhere, layup, down low, at the post, they cause havoc. You know what I mean? And it's just taken steps of the scoring, whether it be from a center's perspective, a small forward, or from a guard. Booker's down there in the post. Luka's on the post. Embiid's on the post. You know what I mean? Cat's on the post. Cat's the top of the three. They have all the tools. And I think they're just putting it at their rate. Some are just really good at all five, and that's enough to give you 60. But a lot of these guys that are doing it are just great at being 5-tier scorers. At the post, they're going to get a foul, an N1, or create assist. Like, even though he gave you 73 points, he still was dishing Luka. So I don't know how much he accounted for last night. And it was 1 against 5, and he made it look easy against 1 against 5. Like, it literally looked like he was going through the whole team like a hot knife through butter. It was effortless. These are elite scorers.
P.
Yeah, I just talk about the scoring explosion. I just think it's a perfect storm. I think it's a combination of what everything Hill said. It's just the talent of these players is unbelievable. But you couple that with the rule changes when you can't hand check. The shot clock when you get an offensive rebound doesn't reset to 24, it goes to 14, which you just get more shots. The pace is quickened. And as I was watching the game last night, I'm like, I hate to say it, but yeah, someone had to touch Luka up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because he was like a walk in the park. Like, it was like shooter, like Steve Smith and Sam Mitchell. Shout out to them on NBA Network, whatever. And it was just like almost like laughing, like, yo, he's not even. It doesn't look like he's not the fastest guy in the world anyway, but it looks like shoot around, like he was taking shoot around shots. And
between his own legs, trickery moves, and
right. Besides Murray, no one really looked like they were really trying to stop. Atlanta's a bad defensive team in a way. So when but I just feel like it wasn't much resistance. So like it was just a perfect storm. And I think that's across the league. It's just not Atlanta. I don't think there was no one to say, okay, enough is enough. Next time he goes in the lane, he's going over here.
Mm-hmm.
Luka was way too comfortable.
And I know I'm probably harping on this too much, and I'm gonna bring it back up. Should Minnesota Timberwolves fans be concerned with their squad? Karl Anthony Towns had 63 in the loss, and at certain points in the second half, the team was trying to force feed him, and it became a detriment to the team that he had gotten a hot hand and they kept on trying to force feed them, to the point where their head coach had to call them out on that. Should Timberwolves fans be worried about their team's maturity, especially going into the postseason if they're going to make a real run for the championship?
For situations like that, you want to see how much you can get. I don't know why they didn't keep. I don't know why Luka wasn't shooting half-court shots. You want to see how much.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about Luka. I'm talking about with Karl Anthony Towns and the Timberwolves.
Right. The premise is when he hits 62, it doesn't matter about force feeding him because you want to see how much he can go to then. Because when he scores 19, they're in first. When he scores 22, they're in first. It's still translating towards them being in first or second place. That's just one game in which I thought that I don't mind them showing out and doing dumb things like feeding him to see how much he could score. That was just one game, and you never know if that chance will happen again. They shouldn't feel like if they get to the playoffs and lose, it's just more of an indictment of their coach, which I'm scared of with them. But for now, they're playing well. I had no problem with them going to see how much he could score, though.
Right. Why didn't he stop that during the game? Like, don't tell me after the game that they're immature and they were force feeding him. You call a timeout and you tell them to stop. Then you're the coach. Don't tell me after. It doesn't make any sense to me. And they are a little immature because I guess they're like their best player is like what 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're the coach. To me, he's blaming them. I'm looking at him.
That whole team's incumbent upon him. If they break, that's him. That's him.
But to be fair, he's coaching them to again, them OKC's going back, possibly the best record in the West. So if I was a Minnesota fan, I wouldn't be worried. They got excited. He's putting up 60. How far can he go? And it's not like they're trying to score. So it's not like they're trying to score more points to win the game. It just didn't work out. And it's not like he's not Luka where he has the ball every time. They have to get it to him. So I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Okay. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about, Milwaukee Bucks. They fired their coach, Adrian Griffin, and they just hired Coach Doc Rivers. P. Thoughts?
I think Milwaukee's lucky. I think they're lucky. I don't want to take whoever drafted Giannis. Maybe they saw something, but they kind of lucked up on Giannis. You got a coach that won you a championship, and you fire him 1 or 2 years later. And then you hired this coach who, by the way, only because of the Raleigh rule, would be coaching in the All-Star game. Mm-hmm. That's how good of a season they were having. He would be coaching the All-Star game. And you fire him. Mm-hmm. And then you make it seem like, oh, I guess he couldn't take you to the next level because you're 25th in defensive ratings. Who cares? You're number 2 in the East. So you'd rather be, number 10 in defensive rating and number 7 in the East? That makes no sense.
No,
and nothing against Doc Rivers. But so you're bringing him in to do what the Clippers brought him in to do, that he didn't do. And then Philly brought him in to do the same thing. And he couldn't get it done there. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. I almost feel like this is like a bad franchise, but they're just lucky somehow that it's just not showing. But these coaching moves are horrible that they've done in the past, 5 years.
Phil, you want to piggyback off of that?
No, I think Paul nailed it. I mean, it's not allowing me to have car insurance 16 years from now from an accident that I had in 2008, which was minor. That you're still holding that against me, but it's in reverse. Like, he won in 08, and he's privy to every coaching job ever since. Like, Milwaukee is crazy. If it has to do with Giannis, if it has to do with Dame, I could care less. To me, they don't. Just to me,
but
that's not enough to them to have your coach.
But isn't that the elephant in the room? Because obviously this had to be a player motivated firing. Because to you guys' point, the record, you can't have a problem with being second in the East and a third overall in the standings in the NBA.
Yeah, but people get
it had to be the players coming forth and saying, "Hey, we don't believe this guy can take us there."
And then he's in first. They're in first. That's stupid. Listen. I forget believe. That's feelings. That's feelings. Mm-hmm. Players don't make good GMs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's something more to the story, because I don't know if he didn't let somebody's girlfriend or wife on the plane, or it can't be it can't be basketball. Yeah, it has to be feelings. And I just want to go back before we go too far. Shout out to Nate McMillan. How's it going, Atlanta? How's the new coach doing? Nate took you to the Eastern Conference Finals. Think you're getting back there this year? These franchises, I don't know what they're doing, man. I really don't.
They don't either.
Well, we'll see how good GM Damian Lillard and Giannis are, because I truly feel that you don't fire this coach in this position without them signing off on it or saying that, hey, this coach has to go.
And I kind of hope that's not true. I'm a Giannis fan. I'm a Dame fan. And usually I always side with the players. I really don't really care about coaches, but fair is fair. The brother was doing a good job. I don't know the whole story. I guess none of us do. But to me, from the outside looking in, this seems like a very unwarranted firing.
Do you like their chances with Doc? And I know that's a stupid question after everything you guys have just said, but I'm gonna ask it. Do you like their chances with Doc?
I liked it. I like their chances with Adrian Griffin more. I really no, and I'm not saying that in retrospect. He had them in second. I thought they had a better chance with Adrian Griffin. I really did.
Can they be better with Doc Hill?
I'm indifferent. I mean, the players play the game. But what is he? He hasn't done anything since 08. What is he supposed to do? Make him worse, maybe? I mean, it's not going to give him a championship. He's just as good as Coach Budenholzer.
Hey guys, hit us up on social media. Let us know what you think. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And hit us up directly at weneedafifth@gmail.com. Fellas, before we get out of here, what's on your radar?
NFC, AFC championships. Lock it, book it.
P, what's on your radar?
I want to get my man's name right. The coach for the new Michigan football coach.
Yeah.
Anybody we know?
Oh no, it was the same guy that took over while
one of the one that was undefeated while Harbaugh was gone.
Okay.
Sharon Moore.
Okay.
Definitely want to give him his props. Sharon Moore, did a great job while Harbaugh was out. Kept him on track to win that national championship, and Michigan did the right thing and gave him the job. Congratulations.
That's it. What's on my radar? I want to, as soon as I get me a new television, I'm going to watch that Netflix series Griselda Hill was talking about last week. So I think it came out this weekend. So I'm going to hit that up. Sofia Vergara produced and she's starring in. So I'm going to hit that up.
50-50 on that. I might check it out. I might check it out.
I'm gonna watch it.
And a quick shout out to South Carolina beating LSU the other night, Thursday night. Dawn Staley keeping the Gamecocks undefeated for the season. LSU defending champions. Yeah, I know y'all still got work to do. When you're playing with the big dogs, you gotta come ready. But any last words before we get out of here, fellas?
No, go 49ers.
Go Niners. Well, big game today too. Nuggets Sixers. Joker and Embiid.
He's beat him already, but we'll just do this again. It's not how big of a game this is. I mean, he owns him, but okay.
Oh man.
Well, that guy's in his back pocket. That's what Jamal Murray comes up with. That's where Jamal Murray gets. That's where he makes his big money, because them two head to head he gets washed by him. Washed.
All right, fellas.
Team sport.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Peace.